Hey, it's Joe Amoya, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Got a quick question for you. Do you believe relationships are a lot of work? Do you believe that in order for a relationship to succeed, you have to work really hard at it? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention because today I'm going to share my insights on what I believe is my truth. So, there was a time in my life where I was in a relationship and we were working really hard at it. We were engaged, we were actually in counseling. And I'm going to give you a little heads up, a little GPS for love advice here. If you're in counseling before you're married, it's a sign from the universe that it's probably not the best and the right relationship for you. But that's a story for another day. So we're sitting in therapy, and I'm saying to the therapist, you know what? I shouldn't have to work this hard at a relationship, especially now. And the therapist looked me straight in the eye and said, you know, Joe, that's how it is. Relationships are a lot of work. And because she was the quote unquote expert, I stayed in that relationship. I continued to try and make it work, planned the wedding, and ultimately lost $20,000 on a wedding that never happened. It was a very expensive learning lesson. But after that, I said to myself, you know what? If that's what relationships are really like, I really have to work that hard at it, then you know what? I really don't want one of those relationships. I wanted one of those relationships where, yeah, life was going to throw stuff at you. You weren't going to be on the same page all the time, but you're with someone where you can just work those things out and resolve it very quickly. So that's kind of the journey I went on. So fortunately, I was able to find that. And so what I've learned now is that there are two types of relationship. There are the difficult relationships, and those are kind of like trying to get a square peg in a round hole, where you try and you force and you make excuses and you justify and you lie to yourself, you lie to others, you lie to your partner just to try and make the relationship work. Now, I believe if you try really hard, you lie to yourself, you aren't honest with yourself and partners and others, you can have a relationship and you can stay in that relationship and that relationship will last. But I don't ever think you'll ever be truly happy and fulfilled. I think you get to a point where you feel, you know what, this isn't what I really want and I'm settling. And it's just a knowing inside. But I also believe that there's another type of relationship, and that's kind of like getting the round peg in the round hole, where it just goes in effortless. Doesn't mean that you don't require some work, doesn't mean that it doesn't require some communication, doesn't mean that you're not on the same page all the time. Here at GPS for Love, I try to be really transparent about my relationship and what makes it as good as I believe it is. And the truth is, and this is on my children's lives, that we have never in 16 years had to work on our relationship. Now, does that mean we were always on the same page? It doesn't mean that there wasn't some conflict, there wasn't some things that we had to work out. Absolutely not. We're human beings. We come through life through different filters, through different experience with different personalities. But that doesn't mean that when you have the right person, you can't resolve those things and get through them relatively quickly. And it amazes me, and one of the reasons why I created GPS for Love is because that's my intention for you, is to help you learn how to create one of those relationships, because it didn't happen magically. I hear all the time, oh, Joe, you're so lucky, you're so blessed. And I'm like, yes, I'm blessed, but I'm not lucky. Okay, this didn't happen magically. I'm the same knucklehead who made this, who stayed in those bad relationships for the wrong reasons. But also, I took my mirror time, I learned my lessons, I made the necessary changes that allowed me to create, to find, and to attract the relationship that I always wanted. And I believe that's why I have it today. But once I got it, I didn't just sit back and go, okay, great, I got it. I continued to show up and be the person that I was in the beginning. And that's how my wife approached it. And I believe that's why 16 years later, we're still at the same place. We're more in love and our relationship is stronger. Because when you have that round peg in a round hole relationship, what you're going to see is life is going to throw stuff at you. It really pisses me off that all these quote unquote experts catch a guy, get your ex back, do this, do that. And it's like, okay, great. Now you've got him. Now what? There's this thing called life that happens after you get married, and life is going to throw some shit at you. Whether it's financial challenges, health challenges, other things, family challenge, whatever it may be. You're going to get stuff thrown at you. I don't care who you are. I was watching a comedian the other day. He said, life is undefeated. There's not one person that's gone through this thing called life that hasn't been kicked down, knocked down, and dragged around. And it's going to happen to you. But who you show up as and who you have by your side ultimately is going to determine if you have that relationship that you really want, or you go to your deathbed saying, you know what, I never had it. And I'm here to tell you, you can have it. But in order to have a relationship, you've got to find the right person. You've got to pick the right person for the right reasons. And when you do that, what you're going to find is you're going to find a relationship you don't have to work at. Now, again, it's your choice. It's your journey. I respect your right to your own personal research because I sure as hell did mine. But I want you to understand and I want you to learn that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be hard work. Now, someone asked me the other day, Joe, is it really hard work? And my stock answer is, yes, it's hard work with the wrong person. But when you pick the right person for the right reasons, what you'll find is you don't have to work on your relationship. You'll have to work on life and the stuff that it throws at you, but you won't have to work on the relationship because you're just so committed to each other. You so love each other that you want the best for each other. And I'm telling you, when you get that, it's one of the greatest gifts and the greatest blessings in life. So I understand if you're watching this going, yeah, it's never going to happen. Look, if you would have told me you and I were to be having this conversation, I would have told you were crazy. But that's the beautiful thing about life is it can turn around. It can turn around quickly. But we've got to do our mirror time. We've got to do our own personal research. We've got to find out, okay, what's going on? Why am I struggling? Because there's always, always, always clues. You just got to know where to look. So love to hear from you. What's your thoughts? Do you believe relationships are work? Based on your past, have you had relationships that you had to work really hard at, and you tried really hard to make those square peg fit in a round hole? Are you in one of those relationships right now? I want you to share your questions, comments, and feedback in the box below, because here at GPS for Love, we're here to help, because ultimately we want you to have that awesome, amazing relationship that you don't have to work at, because that's the one you desire and that's the one you deserve. So as always, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.